Hello, my dear comrades. I came here from a really cold and distant country, Russia. But as you might know, it's getting a little bit closer. Yeah, and my country is so big, it has 11 time zones. Or maybe 12 now. No, I'm joking. So it has 11 time zones. So basically, while traveling across Russia, you can time travel. For example, while in one part of our country we're celebrating New Year, in some others we are still suffering from communism. Yeah, that's sad. And you know, Russia has recently blocked Instagram, YouTube and Facebook, so basically we're becoming similar to China, like a cheap version of China, or I'd say Chinese version of China. Yes. And so, I must admit, I had a really difficult childhood, as every person in Russia. And so, when I was feeling sick, my parents thought that I'm not suffering enough, and they forced me to drink badger fat with hot milk. Yeah, that's disgusting. But you know what? Nowadays, I'm grateful to them, because now I can swallow lots of things I might not really enjoy. Yeah, and this is how actually my dependent visa works. Yeah. And so, when I was a child, I spent some time in the forest, in the Russian villages, and since then I love to spend my time in forest, walking around. And so, today I can't understand if the guy was really listening to me and decided to organize a nice date in the woods, or he's just a fucking maniac. Yeah, and so, but don't worry, I figured it out. I read some articles from psychologists, and girls, listen to this carefully, because it might help you one day. The place where you sit in the car while driving with your partner is really important. If you sit in the front, everything's fine. Romantic relationship, you are doing well. If you sit in the back, well, not so good, you can be friends or something like this. If you're in the trunk, yeah, well, that's suspicious. Yeah, something is not really good. And so, as a person who really likes forests, I love mythology about forests, and I learned that in England there are mythical creatures called pixies, yeah, forest fairies. And they are really nice. They are believed to dance in the moonlight to the music of frogs and crickets. And we have many things in common. I was doing absolutely the same before the rehab. Yeah, nice time, nice time. And so, you know this popular question, girls probably know what I'm talking about. Would you be rather stuck in the woods with a man or with a bear? Yeah, my darling, could you answer? Would you rather be stuck with a man or with a bear?
The bear.
Yeah, I understand it's a popular answer, but I'd say man. Because to scare off a bear, you need to make a really complicated algorithm of actions. You need to pretend that you are higher or pretend that you are dead. And basically we're taught this in Russia from the first grade. But to scare off a man, you can just say, I'm becoming emotionally attached to you. Just like this. Yeah, so really simple. And so, even my parents, they went to the Forest Academy and they met each other there. And you know this saying, if you are scared of wolves, don't enter the forest. Well, my parents were taught, if you are scared of wolves, you won't get a diploma. So, very simple. Yeah, and okay, I'll stop beating around the bushes. And I'll move to the next topic. Well, it's the first time I'm saying this in front of the crowd, but I must admit, I'm on the spectrum. Yes. Thank you, that's really dramatic. You know, chromatography, mass spectrometry, infrared spectroscopy, yes, I'm a chemist. And I specialize in explosives, and I'm looking for a job right now. Really, it's really hard for me to find a job. So, if you know anyone who needs a Russian explosive technician, say hi. Thank you, but if the migration service asks, you know nothing. And so, after 5 years of learning the explosives, I found out one thing, that explosives are like babies. You need to be attentive to them, really careful, and men usually run when they hear of them. And so, back in Russia I had a very stereotypical job. I was an explosive technician. And now I have another stereotypical job. I'm a Russian wife. Yes. And my husband is younger than me, and this is actually great. our every conflict ends either with sex or playing Minecraft. So easy. And I'm slow. I'm used to timers, honestly. And so the last thing I'm going to say, sometimes you need to educate your husbands, your boyfriends. You probably know what I'm talking about. So once I told my husband, actions speak louder than words. Yeah, that's very wise. And so the next time I sneezed, instead of saying bless you, he performed exorcism. So yeah, thank you so much.